Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are out there. Welcome back to the live stream.
Greetings, my excellent friends.
Yeah, greetings, my excellent friends. It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz. Today is March 31st, 2020, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going there, chat room? So good to see you. Yodame, is it Yodame? Is that how you pronounce it? Yodame? Welcome. Good to see you. Stelzy is here. Smab, hello. Good to see you. Good to get started here. We've got. I've got my diva hat on today here because I'm going to take no prisoners. We're going to get some things done here. I'm going to be like the character in Overwatch. We're going to defend our code a little bit, and we're going to get some stuff done. How's it going there, Kelly28 Chillaxter? Hello. Good to see you. Yodamai. Yes. Oh, and DevLead.
DevLead just resubscribed for 20 months. WFH. Lonely so here I am smile.
Welcome in. Everybody's working from home these days, DevLead. Thanks so much for joining us. Yes. Scott Allen passed about 2 months ago. He passed, and certainly a tragedy for our community. But we've picked up the pieces. We're taking what we've learned from our friend Scott, and we're gonna make sure that folks have a smile when they learn, share with our community, and continue some of the great groundwork that he laid for folks that are doing video and teaching about technology. MTB Dude says, just learning my first programming language, decided to start with C#. Welcome in. C#'s a tremendous language. You can use it for all kinds of different things, and hope you have some fun with us here today. Jay Wood says, I heard there would be shenanigans. Oh yes, there are shenanigans. Check out the commands exclamation point help to see a list of all the commands that you can execute with the bot, and there's shenanigans. There's things that you can do, of course, with channel points to encourage us to have a little bit more fun, make it a little bit more interesting to write some code together here. All kinds of stuff that we can do to make it just a little bit different, a little bit more difficult, a little bit more interesting. And oh my gosh, JAF 1021 is here.
Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf? We want it now! The meatloaf! What's she doing? I never know what she's doing.
That's right. Good morning, Mom. It's so good to see you. I need to talk to my friend, Code Rushed, Mark Miller. If you haven't seen his stream, Mark has video overlay fanfares for some of the viewers. And I feel like I need one for when Mom shows up. Dear Lord, it's tremendous. It's so good to see you, Mom. I'm glad you took some time to tune in, hear your son's voice, and say hello. Yes, Jay Wood, it is a diva hat. I forget Diva's real name according to the Overwatch game, but playing that character, playing her, she's a tank, gets out front, defends, and beats up on the other characters. A lot of fun. I really enjoy playing as Diva in Overwatch. Don't know why, but you're looking forward to the end of Minimal March. Yeah, I think so. This is the final day of Minimal March. This is something that we started doing this month to show that you could develop with .NET at the command line. Not only that, but not only can you build at the command line, you don't need complex IDEs, you don't need Windows, you don't need all of these things. You can build even on a Chromebook. We had a real good time exploring, learning a little bit more about the tools, writing some scripts to automate some of the things that we might have had in an IDE to make our development process better and more efficient, even though we only had the command line. It's been a really interesting experience, and it makes me appreciate Visual Studio just a bit more. It really does. Is that Ba Herder? Welcome in. Hello. I'm doing well, PowerShell Freak. Things are going well here, healthy and no concerns. Hands are nice and clean, and we've been. I have a bottle of sanitizer in the car so that when I do go out food shopping, when I get back to the car, sanitize my hands when I get home, wipe down the door handles on the car, make sure that everything is clean, and we're doing quite well there. Jay Wood is a Zarya player. Oh, Zarya is a great character also. I really like playing as her on Heroes of the Storm, playing as Zarya. She's a lot of fun there as well. Let me see here. AEM asks, today you learned EF Core 2.2 as lazy loading disabled, and you need to eager load. You think the .NET team should make a red notice on the documentation because it's serious. I think is it available in the new version of EF Core? I think they reintroduced it. EF Core 2.2 should be deprecated now because that was a current version, 2.2, and 2.2 is past support now. In fact, we're all on 3.1 cycle as the only supported version. So you should see that as now the supported version, and lazy loading should be back in there on EF Core AEM. Kelly says it's awesome that my mom gets to see me. You know what? Yeah, you're watching the llamas. You're watching the Mom, what llamas? There's llamas? I don't know what llamas you're talking about. Let's see. Keep looking down here. Hey there, Taka102. Good to see you. Yeah, I think Visual Studio is great to get to. I think we as developers, when we're working primarily in an IDE, in a high-end integrated development environment, we don't appreciate the features and the tools that we have there because it takes a lot of processing power to run it. Visual Studio Community Edition is always free, especially if you're a small company, if you're a hobbyist, if you're somebody who's just trying to learn. You can get Visual Studio Community free for Windows. That's easy for you to download and install. I believe there might be a Community Edition for Mac as well you can get. But understanding that some of the code that we write and how Visual Studio may crawl a little bit with it's even worse for folks who are on the command line. So gaining that sense of appreciation as we have this month for the folks that like to develop on the command line hopefully will help us write better code going forward. Hannah Song is her name. Thank you, Chillaxthor. Yes, that's right. Hannah Song is Diva, right? That's her real name according to the story in Overwatch. But llamas, Mom, what llamas are you watching? Are there llamas near my mom's house? What's going on there? You've met Jeff Minter. There are always llamas. There is a Community Mac edition, but it's nowhere as good. Yeah. Let's see here. Working on a scheduler application, Taka says, for your university. You're having problems with the technology to use to use. You love C# and the .NET ecosystem, but okay. So tremendously flexible, right? All of the things that you can do with .NET, you really can build and deploy and push it anywhere. Real .NET Dave is here. Oh my gosh. Dave, it's so good to see you. It's bright and early there on the West Coast. I hope you're doing well in your part of the world. AEM is going to upgrade to 3.1 when I have time. For now, you chose to write your app in 2.2, so there'll be enough docs if you have problems. Okay. I can buy that. Things are going well. That's great, Dave. I'm glad to hear that. Fuel Snable is a command line guy. You became it after, at one place that you were working, you got the idea of saying we should all use thin clients towards under-dimensioned servers. Having a thin client doesn't mean that you can't have high-end developer tools, right? So, right, developers, we want to be as productive as possible. Test and make sure that it runs nice and thin inside of a container, minimal requirements, and right then deploy appropriately. Yes.
And then
deploy appropriately. So lots of options there that you can use, you can embrace. Let me get some music playing here in the background. This is music by our friend Mr. Carl Franklin. Scientifically designed, it's engineered to get you in the flow, get you in the groove, so that whatever task it is you're working on, you can focus on and get stuff done. Today's song that I'm playing, this is called Chartreuse, and it's just a touch loud here. Let me pull it back. You can execute the music command in the chat room to get a link, and you can download your copy today. Just gonna pull that back a smidge. There we go. I think that's good. Thank you, Jay Wood. Good to see you. We could have nothing on the local machine, and the server machine died when people used Eclipse. Ooh. So since you didn't want to make people angry at you, you used the command line. Okay. I think there's ways to test better and encourage better development practices without completely sacrificing your development environment. To each their own. If that's what worked for you, terrific. We're working on Blazor. We're working on some Blazor components that are going to help folks migrate from web forms to Blazor. Get out of .NET Framework. Get into .NET Core. Try Blazor, especially Blazor server side, so that you can take advantage of the performance updates. Take advantage of being able to deploy wherever you want. Put your application into a Linux-based container. Orchestrate with Kubernetes. All of these advantages that are typical of a modern web application. We want to encourage and help folks get over there and continue to get great support and new features for the modern web. Jay Wood says they just messed with Blazor because remember doing some here. Oh, and you like it. Oh, that's great, Jay Wood. Thank you. I'm glad you approve. But when you use Blazor, of course, it makes your application better. Right? That's a good thing. We all want to do that. Jose Cruzio. Is it Jose Cruz IO? Welcome in. Thanks so much for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Jose, good to see you. So I'm over here. I'm running a Linux VM. It's right there. And I've got Firefox here. I've got my project open. Let me put together a quick project command there in the chat room. Let me come back to your statement there in just a second. Let's see. Working on the FormView component for the Blazor Web Forms components. Source at. And there's a link. There we go. So you can run the project command and get a little bit more information a little bit later on if anybody asks questions about what we're working on. Dave says, will you plug my cookbook? All profits being donated to the Voice of Slum in India. Tremendous. Not a problem there, Dave. So Dave's got this cookbook that he's working on. The Hello World Cookbook. Geeks Can Cook. There you go. Looking for some help getting some recipes. Awesome. The Voice of Slum in Delhi. Let's see. It's an orphanage. Yeah. Very cool. So Dave's looking for some volunteers, some support, help with some editing, illustrators, graphic artists, and taste testers to unit test recipes. Very cool. Best of luck to you, Dave. Make sure you check that out. HelloWorldCookbook.com. I'll even put a link just below here on the YouTube video so that folks can find that. Click through and check out the cookbook. All right. It's a cook while you code book. Maybe it is. So, did our friend yesterday? We had our friend Alex from Madrinas joining us, and we were talking through. We were doing some work with object detection in images using Azure, and we ran into a couple issues there. I've documented them. I'm going to send them off to the Azure team so they can help improve that documentation a little bit. We also had a Gleam. There's a Gleam free coffee giveaway that we were running yesterday. If you look just below me here, it's still available for about the next day and a half, okay? Check out, it says C# Fritz Madrinas giveaway. Click there, fill out the form, and you could win one of 5 boxes of Madrinas coffee cups, right? The coffee pods, right, that you use in in a Keurig coffee maker. Check that out just below, and you could win some free coffee shipped to your house. So, very cool. Make sure you click through and check that out. And of course, I want to make sure I let you know, Madrinas is a sponsor of the channel. Execute the coffee command. Use the code FRITZ at Madrinas Coffee. When you check out, you can get 20% off of coffee shipped to your door from our friends at Madrinas. Organic, fair trade, and really good coffee. Roasted from our friends in St. Louis. All right. You love your Surface laptop? I'm a big fan of the Surface hardware. I had some real problems with the Surface Book 2. The Surface Pros have been tremendous. I really like my Surface Pro 3. I haven't gotten any of the newer ones yet. What, 8 I think is the latest one? I'm interested in getting a new one, but I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. So the latest Surface laptop, Fuel Snable, is really good. So, ooh, you've got a recipe for Greek pasta AEM has. Nice. You'd like to get one too expensive. So, right, that's the thing. Higher-end hardware that we as developers want is typically really expensive. So, can't disagree with you there. Yeah, Debugger had some performance issues with the Surface Book 2 as well. Yeah. Over the summer, they did some things with how the firmware works, and performance just hasn't been the same. And, yeah. I'll use it every now and again as primarily a web browser watching movies. I'll take the top off. I'll take the screen off of my Surface Book and put it on the exercise bike in the other room, so that I can watch a movie or something while I'm exercising, and I've got nice big Surface Book screen there, no keyboard attached, so that I can watch movies. It's really neat. So, all right, so let's get back into our project here. We've got a couple pull requests we're going to check out here, and I think I saw, yeah, Hisham's been very active, cranking away, working on some new features, new components that we can use here. And add rotator, well, and then we're going to try and merge these and then what we're going to do. But this looks like it's failing to build with the add rotator unit tests that Hisham has for us. I develop things with the raid!
I develop things raided my stream with 16 viewers.
Oh my goodness. I develop things is another member of the Live Coders team. Thank you so much for bringing your friends over here, bringing your viewers. It's so good to see you. I need to put together a defend video. I need to do that. We need to make a defend video. I'm so jealous of our friend Fierce Kitten's defense videos. I'll tell you what, here's what I am going to do. I'm going to welcome in our friends here. Good morning, Raiders. My name's Jeff, and we're writing some code. Thanks so much for joining us. So, what were you doing over there? I develop things. What was happening on your channel? You were defending the channel. No, that's Genesco saying this. Love it. Yeah, I need a good raid defense. There's good raid defense videos out there, and I feel like we could use one. Make sure you check out I Develop Things. They're another member of the Live Coders team. And we are 9 days away from Live Coders Conf. Make sure you check this out. conf.livecoders.com. I need to put a timer in the chat there. Not LiveCoders.com, livecoders.dev. conf.livecoders.dev. We have 14 hours of sessions out there for you. I'm not speaking as part of this. I think I saw somebody ask a question. Jeff, are you speaking? I'm actually going to be the MC for the second half of this. We've split it up so that there's two halves. The first half runs from 6 a.m. Pacific time. So 9 a.m. On the East Coast. What is that? 1300 UTC. And that'll run for 7 hours. We start up again just a few hours later, and we'll go for another 7 hours right through till, I think it's midnight. I mean, it's a long day. I'm the MC for the second half. I'll be handing things off, introducing sponsors, talking to some of those folks. but it's going to be a tremendous day of content. Like I said, I'm not speaking. I'm going to have some intro words at the beginning to thank people for coming and a little 15-minute warm-up before we get folks started. And it is it promises to be a tremendous event, and I can tell you this. This isn't. I don't think this is a secret. I don't think I need to protect this. Our friends at Twitch have granted us front page status for the first 7 hours. You will find live coders, people talking about technology, and our live coders event on the front page of Twitch for the first 7 hours of the day. We will be there in the carousel. It's going to be Doc, Tim, and Fritz. What? You know what I mean. But you will find us over there. It's a big opportunity for us. Tell your friends, tell your families, tell your pets, tell your colleagues. Tune into Twitch April 9th, Live Coders Conf. All right. It's a big thing. The team, there's about 20 of us on the team that have been working very hard to make sure that we have great sessions, great moderators available to help, and great MCs, great technology to make sure that everything works well, very smooth all day long. We've put a lot of work into this. We've probably put a little bit more work into this than I've put into other virtual conferences. And if you've seen what we've done for .NET Conf, you know that we do some really cool stuff. So, let's get back. Hisham has a pull request here. It's got 10 files that changed, and these are all unit tests that he added here to test to make sure that it outputs in the correct format. But why is it failing? So let's go back and see if we can figure out why it's failing this unit test here. So this is running Azure pipelines. I can click through here and see exactly what the Azure pipeline run for this was doing, and I can see right here. I really wish this would tell me the exact tests that failed. This feels like a problem with XUnit, where some integration there where it's not reporting properly. But there are 2 tests that are failing here. What do we see here? No elements were found that matches the selector image. So, I mean, this looks like legitimate errors in Hisham's unit tests. What's this? So that's one there. And an object reference, so a null reference exception inside of test component CS. I don't know what test component CS is. So, I mean, this is clear to me. I need to push some feedback here that says, hey, can you, let me, SNB with the resub.
SNB just resubscribed for 23 months. Gigabazinga.
Thank you so much. SNB is another member of the Live Coders team. You can check out their channel, Codebase Alpha, over there. And so is Gareth Hubble. Good to see you, Gareth, another member of the team. Welcome in. Check out both of their streams. They're other members of the team. You know what? Other Live Coders team members have a little alert that pops off on video, a little widget that'll show up when a team member shows up in stream. Maybe I need to put something together for that. Can you fix these test failures before we merge this? Not me merge. We merge this PR. Right? I mean, it's simple. If it doesn't pass your own unit tests, I can't accept it. I don't. We as a community can't take responsibility for unit tests that fail before they're even merged. Lily Hazel is here. Good to see you. There she is. She's over there in chat. Hello. How's it going? I have so much respect for this woman. She has done a tremendous job prepping, organizing, herding the cats, as it were, for the Live Coders Conf. Really, really tremendous job. Huge respect for our friend Lily Hazel there. Yeah, lots of love for Lily Hazel. And the bald-bearded builder is here. Hello, hello. So, I'd love for there to be a badge right? If you could have a badge for your team so that when teammates appear in chat, they have that little badge next to them. That would be so cool to see. There is a Live Coders BTTV emote on my channel that you can use. Yeah, get a little Live Coders gear next to people's name. I give folks either moderator or VIP status if they're a member of the team, typically, right? I don't have too many of those to give out, but I try to give that out to other teammates. And yeah, I have the Live Coders gear as a badge, as a emote here in channel. But it'd be cool if I could have that as a badge. Just when you appear in a teammate's channel, it appears next to your name. Let's take a look here. Hisham this is the hidden field component. So inside of web forms, you could build a hidden field with a tag called hidden field. And it looks like Hisham went and added the hidden field here. Hidden field means, and see, you have ASP hidden field. Now my concern here is, so this is just testing the format, making sure that we get a value, I guess a value changed event. Okay. And here is the code behind it. Yeah, there's an on value changed. What about and there's the razor for it. My concern here is it's generating an input tag, and should it be generating a Blazor hidden, is it hidden field? I forget the Blazor component for it. But this looks like it's building and compiling properly. He's got a little bit of documentation to go with it, and it matches a bit of what started over there inside the hidden field. So I will merge this one in. This is good. And let's just simplify the comment here. And initial docs. Fantastic. For contributing this component. All right. There it is. Very cool. And we can move over now and start looking at and working on some of our work here that we were doing. Codephobia with the raid. Oh my goodness.
Codephobia raided my stream with 21 viewers.
Thank you so much for the raid. I raided Codephobia yesterday. It's good to see you. Thanks for the raid. Codephobia is another member of the team. Good to see you there. Hey, what were you doing over on your channel? And before you brought friends over here, I know you do a lot of work. Codephobia does a lot of work with Angular. Let us know what you were working on. Yep, there's the shout out. Thank you, Bald Bearded Builder. Good to see you, Raiders. My name is Jeff. We're working on a little bit of Blazor here. We're mixing C#, HTML, and a little bit of .NET in order to build components that are going to make it easy for folks to migrate from web forms, to ASP.NET web forms from way back in the day, to a modern .NET component-based framework like Blazor and .NET Core. Thank you for the follow, Manny. Welcome in. And a little bit of magic, of course. There's always just a bit of magic. I got the timing all wrong there. I pushed the button, I expected it to go, and it didn't happen. Jeez, it's all broken over here. Finishing some sliders in Angular with native script for a mobile app, and then some stuff in regular Angular. Oh, very cool. Yeah, my Angular game isn't very good, but I'll tune into Codephobia every now and again. And I'll always learn something about Angular. So, let's get back into this. We're working on a FormView component and adding features there. We've got some other things that we need to build out here, but I have, where'd it go? I was adding features. Here it is. FormView component. I updated the description here a little bit. So I believe I have the edit item working, so you can the form view is intended to be like a data entry form. You have a form that is, here's what the read-only instance is. You have an edit instance so that you can quickly tab through and key in all the data with a nice save button at the bottom. Click that and it changes back to read view, or to whatever the default view is. It might be the insert view, and the insert view has things laid out appropriately for that, but these are different templates that you are able to present to your end users to fill out and save. So, hey, Curious Drive and Webface are here. Binary Chef, greetings to you. It's so good to see everybody tuning in.
My excellent friend.
Yes. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay a while. We're going to have a bit of fun. Let's take a look. So I'm, of course, working over here because this is minimal March. I got to remember my keystrokes. There we go. I'm working at the command line. I'm working on .NET at the command line. And that might sound a little weird because it is. But I'm over here. I'm going to run... maybe that's a little bit too big. That's better. I'm going to set up a tmux instance here. And we'll call this my dev panel. I'm going to go into my Blazor Web Forms Components project. Yeah, we fixed the button samples. Let me check out feature. Is it FormView? Yeah. Change over to this branch that we were working in previously. I'm gonna put another panel over here on the right side. So I'll do it with that. And just nudge this over to the side, because what I'd really like is a little bit of continuous testing going on. There we go. Right. And there we go. I don't have the right version. It should be the 31201 that I'm using here. We're gonna need to fix that. Let's see if we can get things fixed here. Because the version, right when the version of .NET I have installed is 30103 and 31201, and this is looking for 31100. So I want to, the new version that's installed and that we've been using is to help support the Blazor WebAssembly samples. So Blazor for WebAssembly means we can compile our code into a DLL. You've seen DLLs for Windows applications, EXEs for those, but we can compile into a DLL and run it in the browser, just like you might run JavaScript. The horses over-anticipated that and started whinnying early. What's the plan for April? Visual Studio features? Asks Curious Drive. You know what? I don't know. I don't have a specific topic for April. There we go. I don't have a specific plan for April. I had some ideas around doing some IoT with a hat, getting components like an LED panel, an LED matrix to sew into a hat with some Bluetooth capabilities, so I could control it from my phone or from somewhere else and be able to send images onto my hat. I don't know just yet. I need to think about that. Azure April? No, Curious Drive. No. That is a really, 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 really bad idea. Because things on Azure don't work for me right away. And I'm going to get into only a little bit of trouble for that. No. Gosh, I have no idea what you're talking about. About what? Virtual memory. I have no idea how to pronounce your name there. ALM April. No. Oh, there we go. Jeff loses to Azure month. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be doing is Jeff loses to Azure month. It's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea. Yeah, there's a global JSON that's pinning that version. Let's see here if we can fix that. What did I... let's ditch that. It still says... what? Why won't it reset that? Right? Get reset. And it's still there. Angry April, where every stream is Jeff yelling at a null exception error. There you go. That's perfect. It's a bad idea. I don't want to commit that. I want to... Right? Let's see. Let's scroll up here. Right? This is the one that I want to be on. Why am I not able to get that? Assembly April? That's an even worse idea. Are you kidding? As soon as I touch the control key, it starts. Fine. And I can't even get that. This right here. AD306. Right? Yeah. No. Hard AD306. No, it's still there. Wait. I was clean there for a second. No, I'm good. Right? Why does it still see that? I'm gonna run a git pull here, make sure I get everything. Alright. I'm gonna check out dev. Yeah, you're not gonna let me do that, are you? Why isn't it resetting? Yeah. No. Fixing the image button. I don't know. Okay. So now let me go over to dev. There we go. Git pull. Head back to the other branch. Merge dev. Yeah, look at that. And now why is it saying hidden field? Let's do a vim on that readme and see if we can fix the collision. There we go. What else? Anything else? Nope. We're good there. Alright, what's the other one? Is the button index razor. After Blazor, server side, pages, control samples, button, index. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah. Carriage returns. Somebody didn't save this with the right line endings. I'm gonna wipe the bottom half. Okay. Samples, that. I love this. Just hitting tab and it's able to find incompleted. Yep. Add that one too. Merged from dev. Cool. So now that's updated. Now all set. Security April, where Fritz shows all web vulnerabilities. No, that's a bad idea. Hamster voice April. I would be more likely to take that on. Right? I don't know if that's a thing. Is that a thing? Let me see here. Oh, I need to turn back on. Nah, not that one. That's a bad idea. We don't need that bar. I thought... Do I have... here? Yeah, we're good. Everything is turned on. Make sure all my alerts and things. Easter egg April. Nah. YAML April. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Is YAML. All YAML, all the time, all April. No. Wiping the bottom half. Yeah, I just blew out. We don't need that other stuff. Let me go back over to Firefox. Since I pushed that up here, we should see... Well, I can just click over here right to that branch. We should be able to see it building. Right? Come on, GitHub. There, it's right there. There it is. Yep, built successfully, and it's going to run the tests. And those all ran successfully. Of course they did. Just the way I designed it. AI April. So that was something that I was thinking about doing. I will definitely... Yes, we were thinking about doing AI April. And that would be something really cool to do. Let me think about that later today. There might be something there. There might be something there. Yeah, my Git attributes file is supposed to catch that problem. Is that MP Skeeter? Yeah, I have a Git attributes file here. Look at this. That is supposed to do the appropriate end of line, right? Everything's supposed to do auto, right? And the appropriate Windows files, keep them with the appropriate Windows line endings, right? PowerShell file there. .shell file should be just a line feed, but the rest of these just take the auto, which should push it to line feed. But every now and again, we get a commit, we get a pull request that doesn't have it. So, votes for AI April. All right. ASP.NET Core April. That is such low-hanging fruit. It is not even funny. But AI April is a... What do you think of that, chat room? Is that something you'd be interested in doing? Angstrom Jemmy likes it. Angstrom Jimmy, it's so good to see you. AI April. All right. I can tell you that May, of course, May is for Macs, but AI April. We'll do some ML.NET. We'll do some Azure Cognitive Services. Okay. All right. And I want to make sure... Tell you what, I'm going to run a quick poll. Just... let's see here. And we'll run that. I'm going to run that for 2 minutes. And we'll start the poll. So you can check out if you're on your mobile device, you're not going to be able to see this, but if you're in a browser watching Twitch, click the poll there about what you think if we should do AI April. Let me know. All right. Now, not Unity in May. May is for Macs is what we do. Android April, that would be interesting as well. Can we bring back F# Fridays? Asks Gareth. I need to do a little bit of setup, a little bit of prep on that. Oh, Cocho, you are able to vote on mobile. And hey, Cocho, good to see you. They're another member of the team. I need to do a little bit of prep work before I get into F# Friday again, but we might be able to get back into that. Yeah. Big shout out for Cocho. And okay, voting is working on mobile. I wasn't able to get it to work for me. It was maybe a month ago, but very cool. Thank you. And you know what we need to do? I completely missed this yesterday. Ooh, there we go. Hang on, let me do this. Remind me in 10 minutes to give away stickers on stream.
Done.
All right. We got to give away some stickers. Android April would be good. Yeah. Oh, chat will remind me. I don't think so. So overwhelmingly, it looks like we're going to do AI April. Now, Baldbeard, do you see what he's trying to do here? Do you see what he's trying to do here? So we've got some +1 on F# Fridays. It's not rigged yet. And that's Dee Dee's job to say it's rigged. I think it's overwhelmingly here that we're going to do AI April. So, thank you for the follow, Confused Lele. Welcome in. So, let me, I'm going to reach out to a couple people, see what we can do for AI April, and have focused AI talks there. Not AI talks, but do some AI coding, some machine learning, see what else we can do. Maybe we can spend some time tuning the sentiment analysis over there. Maybe do some work on the image detection that we're working on with our friends from Madrinas. There's a couple different things there that we could tinker around with, absolutely. And our friend Carrie, the coding bandit, had some image detection built to detect what hats I'm wearing. Maybe we finally get my hat catalog built. All right. I've definitely got some ideas here. We can go there. No, not Jocular June. Sorry, no. No way. Nope. Not going to go there. Are we going to start a fresh project or use existing projects? I've got a couple existing projects we can add to. Some other things that we've tinkered with that we can kind of extend and go into. So, Gareth. I'm actually thinking not JavaScript July, but I'm thinking July OT. And do IoT things in July. Yeah, let's see here. August Unity. You really want me to get into Unity there? I am going to get IoT. Actually, so I'm working on. I'm with our friend Dee Dee Walsh and Sarah Fatz. I'm working on, and Lily Hazel there. We're working on two things for the Live Coders team. There was a really great idea from one of our teammates, Mary Jo Stabler, about having a somewhat regular, maybe it's once or twice a month, show on the Live Coders channel that is that's a Live Coders that is a Ladies of the Live Coders Tech Roundtable, just a panel discussion show. I love that idea. Maybe have some guests join every now and again, but absolutely, if there's one thing that I hope you see from how I present things here on Twitch, from how the Live Coders team operates, we try to be very inclusive. Everybody's welcome. Everybody can participate, and to give an opportunity for ladies, for folks who identify as ladies, to be able to participate in something that encourages and puts and shows some successful women in our industry talking about what it's like streaming and doing things. I think is a tremendous opportunity, and that's something I am literally busting my buttons, eager to help out and encourage and make that happen. Quite frankly, I want to be able to stand off, be kind of an executive producer, and let those folks who are interested and want to run that, let them run it. Be able to see some of our teammates. Talk about whatever. Maybe it's Lily Hazel. Maybe it's Sushi Codes. Maybe it's Jessica Mack. She just joined the team yesterday. No Op Cat. Fierce Kittens. You know, these folks that you know who are tremendous developers. Mary Jo Stabler as well. There's so many folks on the team. To come together to have a cool discussion, I think is a tremendous opportunity. You think there's a Jessica Mack, not Jessica Cat, Jessica Mack. Did I say it wrong? But there's folks have whatever makes them happy. July interviews with developers, with Skype calls. I need to do more interviews. I definitely need to do that. I desperately need to get the Bald Bearded Builder and Robert Tables on stream here. That needs to happen at some point. We need to do that. What's September? Rust September. Ooh, I don't know Rust. But all right, let me get back into the project here. So, I just and everything built properly here, so I'm ready to continue moving forward. Hey, thank you for the follow. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that. October Rust. So October is Ubuntu month. Ubuntober, and we would use Visual Studio Code in October. So stay away from Bald Bearded Builder until I wash that Linux stink off of me. Okay, I gotta put that up just so folks know that I'm not the one making that up. No, hey! No, that's not what no. The things are moving too fast here. That's the one I meant to click. Right? I didn't say that's... He wrote that, not me. And I do have to finish reading. I was doing an ASMR reading stream. I was reading the Invisible Man. I need to finish that in the evenings here. That was tremendous. I know there are folks who tune in just to hear my voice, because it's I can have a relaxing voice. Some of the music in the background is kind of relaxing, which is funny for somebody who paints himself as a little bit of a shock jock here. But we definitely need to get back into doing something with finishing that reading and producing some calming music streams to encourage folks and have a good time there. Send you to sleep. Exactly. I can really do that. I can get in nice and tight and focus on whatever the topic might be. So this should now have, right, if I have this set up and I merged properly. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm running the correct version. I'll run the watch test. Thank you for the follow. Obisama, welcome in. Alternative Corn, you like that hat? I do like playing as Diva and I've got the Philadelphia Fusion skin for Diva. Really good. Interviews with famous software engineers. I have an interview series that I've done for our friends at Content Lab, where I interviewed a bunch of the different live coders and some other folks, called Ask a Developer. I have that series that's out there that I've done. You can find that on the Content Lab channel on YouTube. Gareth, what friends, this is just straight up trolling. I cannot let this go. No, we are not going to do Comic Sans Timber. No. You're salty because NVIDIA's drivers are not that great. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, we did some videos for Content Lab. Let me get back into the project here. Let's get some code happening again here. We've built some samples, and how do I create another panel here? No. Wait a sec. I forget how to create another panel. Oh, no, I remember. There it is. And this is going to be where our samples run. All right. Dev Blazor. There we go. I'm going to create a panel down here. So I can have the web browser run down here, and any sample code will edit up top there. So let me get that set back up. Samples, wrong folder. There, and so I execute .NET watch run, so it runs the sample project that we've written. It has our integration test in it, so that we can see what the code looks like. We can actually browse to it and actually see what's completed, what works, what we can fix. So, how is the Blazor progress going? I think it's going very well. Building things here on stream is always... we always get a little bit distracted because I do want to talk to you. It's important to me that while I'm streaming here, I'm talking to you folks in the chat room, having a good time, cracking jokes. I hope I bring a smile to your face when we have some fun together here, writing code, building things. Oh, see, now we've got... look at this. We've got a problem over here now. And that's not right at the bottom either. Our samples don't look quite right at all now, because this is too long. I think we need to clean up our sample code here. Ignoring great suggestions, Death Knight. No, I'm not cross today. Having fun is what this is all about, absolutely. I hope you tune in here, because this is a little bit like developer talk radio, right? And we write a little bit of code, answer questions from folks in chat, have a good time together, right? Headforge asks, am I developing... let me put this up. Am I developing in Hyper-V? Yes, I am. I'm running a full Ubuntu install using Hyper-V here on top of Windows 10, and it's been tremendous for us. And they go on to ask, have I tried out the Windows subsystem for Linux version 2 already? I have not tried it personally. Some of the other folks on the team have been working with it, and they've run into a number of problems. And if there's one thing that I try to avoid on stream, it's reducing the number of things that I can't rely on. And because I've seen other folks have reliability questions with WSL2, it's not a risk that I'm going to take while here on stream when I can use Hyper-V easily here. You're working on it without problem? Terrific. To each their own. It just wasn't a risk that I wanted to take in how I set up and got things running here. And I didn't want to spend too much time getting things set up. I wanted to spend more time focused on writing code. I think it's already bad enough when I spend a stream just doing setup, right? Oh, let's get things configured. When I do one of those streams, I feel like that's not doing you a service, viewers. I feel like that's me not being prepared. I'm being a little hard on myself, but I think it's something that I should have done ahead of time. And maybe just show you a quick tour of here's how I've got things configured. Here's where you can find my .dot files if you want to take a look. I should do a theme month of WSL. No. One thing that you should know is I choose theme months because they support .NET and developers. And I focus on those topics. So IoT, AI, May is for Macs, showing .NET and those things. It also what it does is it helps to feed the bosses at work, to be perfectly honest. What I don't want to do if I go into some topics that are off the beaten path, is folks will start asking to review my content. You don't want people reviewing and auditing my content. Okay? You work with WSL and .NET Core. Great. More power to you. That's not something that I need to show. So, thank you for the follow. Is that Taub SN? Welcome in. And Jose Luis 15, welcome. You're trying to set up a Windows 10 VM within a KVM Linux with a pass-through for your RTX 2080 NVIDIA's drivers. Oh my gosh! Coding Bandit!
Just gifted 5 subs.
Thank you so much. 5 gift subs into the channel. DomFX, Icarus Complex, Burnax, Acrophobic Pixie, and the Leading Lady. Congratulations. You just got gift subs from our friend the Coding Bandit. And we're going to make 5 donations to code.org. They're helping get science and technology curriculum into the classroom, wherever the classroom might be now that we're under lock and key on quarantine here. Thank you so much. That's, of course, the Coding Bandit. She's another member of the Live Coders team. Thank you so much for the raid. And she's going to be speaking at Live Coders Conf. That's a free event anybody can tune into. conf.livecoders.dev. Check that out. Very classy move. Video drivers, I think, with Linux are always a little bit of a challenge. It's always, right? Linux is always going to be a step or two behind. And trying to get video drivers to pass through across the VM boundary is even more tricky. So, good with Swagger for generating clients for .NET APIs. Yes, Coffee Cup, that is absolutely something you can do. So, and there should be some easy, really nice documentation for that available as well. Some time for tool extensibility, Roslyn analyzers, and the like. That's not a bad idea either. That's not a bad idea, Gareth, because I think, what I think we should work on today is actually cleaning up these samples, see if we can get that to work better. But Gareth is suggesting some Roslyn analyzers, some tools to help developers. As we look at and we work on these components here, I think there's an opportunity for us to have Roslyn analyzers to help with these components so that folks can code and migrate their applications better and easier. Coffee Cup is trying to generate a client for an endpoint with an IEnumerable parameter, but it doesn't work. Well, you don't want an IEnumerable parameter into an API. You're not passing an IEnumerable into an API. You're passing an array into an API. You're never passing an IEnumerable because you can't send a list across the boundary. You can't send a hash set across HTTP. You're sending an array. Change that to an array and try and regenerate and see what that does for your Coffee Cup. All right. And that array is enumerable. You'll be able to use that further along in your code. All right, let's see if we can clean up this user interface a little. See if we can make this better, because I don't want you to have to scroll down the entire user interface. The tree over here, I'd like you to be able to scroll down. I'd like this pinned and centered here on the bottom. Something happened that screwed up that appearance here. Alternative corn. Okay, that's a good question. Let's answer that. Love the darn Skippy Coding Bandit. Let me put up this question. What are the benefits of using an IEnumerable compared to an array? So this is a question about .NET and about these two different objects that you have when working with .NET code. Let me take a minute and put together a quick sample to show. And you're right, Coffee Cup. So an IEnumerable is a collection. It's an interface that defines a collection that you can iterate across. You can say, for each one of the things in this collection, do something, right? You get this loop, and it's a forward-only loop that you can use to walk across. Versus an array is a concrete type. It's a type that you can't add new things to, but you can very easily declare, and it has a very fixed data size, memory size that you're allocating and working with. Now, an array is an enumerable type, but there are other enumerable types. So if I go over here, and if I wanted to, let me just jump over here, and if we said .NET new, let me figure out a good project type. I want the console, I think. Yeah. Let's do .NET new console, and let's call this array demo. Okay. And you can pass, and IEnumerable is an interface. You can pass different types into that, right? You can reference and pass those around. It is more generic than an array. Yes. Where the array is the simplest, but the array is also how things will be serialized and passed across HTTP boundaries. You pass arrays, right, on, oh my gosh, Brave Cobra!
Brave Cobra 2 just resubscribed for 17 months. Is it another month already?
It is. You know what, I think we've kind of explained this. I don't need to go through and show this sample. But you're able to ask for a parameter of type IEnumerable, and you can pass an array in instead of that. So, Jean Valjean is here as well. Hello, good to see you. Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to go through a full sample here. Tomorrow is April. I know, how can that be? How can that be? Yeah. So, let's see if we can fix this. The panel over here on the side, I want to make that not overflow and keep scrolling down. I want to make it overflow and scroll, I think. So let me go back over here. I'm going to Vim, and let's take a look. The nav menu, here it is, right? So here it is, the nav menu class. The nav menu CSS class. Well, where's that coming from? So that's got to be passed in from our layout, which is going to be not over there. Here. So there's the app. Nope. It's over. There we go. All right. Well, what's the nav menu CSS class? Oh, that's the show hide bit, isn't it? Yeah, if it's collapse or null. All right. Okay. So I think I want to create a nav item in here that says vertical nav. Just so that I have it there, and now I can reference and change the CSS without having to refresh and rebuild the entire thing here. So let me go over here into my CSS. Vertical capital N in nav. So let me see. Yeah. The Blazor error UI. Let's write in here. So vertical nav, right? And what I'd like to do is overflow, right? Overflow Y? Yeah. I'd like to say scroll. I think that's what we want. So now I should be able to refresh this. There we go. Now, it didn't... It's not right? It's not... That didn't do what I wanted. Right? When I bring that out, that's good. Now it scrolls and I can see all of that. Good. Right, and it's still not... It's not giving me this... I want it to scroll inside of here. Whale E-boy. Really? Really? Why do they say that? No. What? Yeah, I'd be curious as to why. Yeah, April Fools. Here. Right, I want to get this panel. Oh, look at that. And it's got... No, this. And it wasn't even that one, it's... Right, let's see if we can figure this out. It's, not that. Yeah, it's this bit right here. Right, there's vertical nav, overflow Y scroll. It doesn't know how big it needs to be. Your professor said to use Node and React. Why? Those are great technologies also. But for somebody to just flat out say, Whaley boy, nobody's offended. I'm trying to get, and Gareth asks a very good follow-up question. What's the context for what type of technology, for what type of, what's the comparison that they're looking at to say that they don't like .NET? There's great tools for everything. I'm curious as to why your professor said this, and I'd appreciate it. If you want to invite your professor on to the chat room, I'm happy to talk to them and ask why they feel this way and discuss why they're telling folks that .NET is not great. .NET is fabulous for a bunch of different things, and let me break it down right here. Elliot Brand, thank you so much for the sub. 3 months.
Brand just resubscribed for 3 months.
That's going to put you in a red subscriber badge. Thank you so much. .NET is great for building Windows applications. You can use several different frameworks for doing that all run on top of .NET Framework. Storyteller mode, that's a great idea, Curious Drive. But in recent years, in the last 5 years, which tells me something about how long your professor hasn't been paying attention, .NET is now completely open source, and you can continue building for Windows using .NET Core and have a great experience. Everything's open source, extremely fast, and then you can build for the web using ASP.NET Core. And ASP.NET Core is the fastest commercial web framework available out there that you can get support for. It's tremendous for it. There's a very vibrant community. Folks that tell you that Node is better haven't tried to do anything multi-threaded with their service. As soon as you try and go multi-threaded, Node falls down. You don't do multi-threading with Node. You would stand up multiple Node services. Each one of them has single thread in there. All of .NET is open source, runs on Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, Android, IoT devices. It runs on your refrigerator. It runs on your toaster. It's everywhere you want to be. It'll run on your watch, and with no modifications. The Xamarin tools for building and targeting iOS and Android apps are tremendous, free and open source. The only money you have to pay to deploy to those devices is to Apple, because you need to pay $100 a year to get into their store. So, there are folks who say use Node for Linux development and Linux is the way to go and don't touch anything from Microsoft. Here's the thing. .NET is now owned by the .NET Foundation. It's a non-profit organization that is managed by several very large companies that you may have heard from. Yes, Microsoft is one of them, and they only have one seat on the board. The others are folks from the community, and they have a steering committee that's comprised of Red Hat, Google, Amazon, Samsung. It's not just Microsoft building this. And Whaley Boy asks, what are the disadvantages of .NET? So the disadvantage of .NET, the big disadvantages that we see, the number one disadvantage that you see about .NET right now is the legacy perception of .NET. Thank you for the follow. Is that Melodiouson? Welcome in. The legacy perception, going back to the times of Microsoft-controlled, closed source, and Steve Ballmer, there was this perception of .NET is something you need to spend $2,000 to get. Visual Studio runs only on Windows and is clumsy. But Scott came along, and now it's open source. It's free for anybody to use. Use your favorite editor, and like we're doing here on this stream, I'm working on the command line in Linux with Vim and writing .NET code. Very flexible. Take it where you want to. You have the freedom to change it if you'd like. It's completely open source. So those updates, those changes that have happened to .NET haven't been visible to folks who have blown it off and said, well, that's a Windows thing. So that perception is the number one disadvantage. Number two disadvantage of .NET is you need to write a project file, and a very prescriptive project file and structure to your projects in order to build. Where with things like JavaScript and Node, you can structure and build with as little as one file. So there's a little bit of ceremony there that folks don't really understand. Is Visual Studio free now for enterprises? Asks Headforge. No. It is not. Visual Studio Community is free for hobbyists, folks in the education field, and folks that are in small companies. I forget, there's a dollar figure that in revenue, it's like $10 million, I think. Don't quote me on that. That until you are making that amount of money, so in startup mode, you can use Visual Studio Community for free. For the higher end versions of the IDE, they ask that you do pay, but Visual Studio Code, completely free, open source, extensible. Some folks prefer that for their .NET development. So take a look at that as well. Really, really good. But the point is, and Coding Bandit makes the point there, you're not tied to Visual Studio. You don't want to spend money at Microsoft to buy Visual Studio Pro or Enterprise? That's okay. You can use Visual Studio Code for free. You can use Rider if you want to buy Rider. That's a IDE built by the folks at JetBrains. Great options now. And this is why, to Whale E-Boy's question earlier, these are some of those perception issues that there are. So, VS Community is limited to 5 developers in a company. I wasn't aware of that limit. So, it is Visual Studio Code's a good C++ editor. Yes. But these things you can get access to for free. When you start talking about the higher end tools, well, they ask that you pay and you buy your high end developer tools. The text editors, the compilers, the scripting, everything that I'm showing you here in this stream, this is all free. You can do everything that we're doing here on the command line in the text editor. This is completely free, doesn't cost you a thing. And it will never cost you a thing. There is no charge for any of the command line tools. And with .NET 5, when that lands in the fall, you're going to see, not only are you going to be able to build web applications, command line applications, Windows applications on the command line, you're also going to be able to build Xamarin applications on the command line. It's coming. So, and you don't have to use Linux. You can use, like I said, Windows, Mac, or Linux. Your choice to develop with. Hey, Simon, good to see you. Xamarin on the CLI. That's what we're doing. Whaley Boy, I think it is in a better place. There are some folks who would argue that it's in a bad place because Microsoft is associated with it, and that's their opinion. There are folks who will never trust anything from Microsoft, and that's they're welcome to that opinion. They're welcome to that. But the water's warm over here. Jump in, free, easy, open source. Anybody can use it. So, you like that I'm using Linux? Well, thank you. We've been using Linux all month long. I was even working on a Chromebook for a week, showing that you could do that. So, in May, we'll be on a Mac, but next month, starting tomorrow, we'll be back in Visual Studio on Windows, showing that as well. So, I wanted to try and clean this up, but it looks like I got a refresh here, and this looks better already. My goodness, I've got some... you see, this doesn't look right? That... I want to figure out how to fix that, but okay, that does look right for me. Alright, I don't need to do anything here. Let me go... Where do we want to go? I want to go back into FormView. This is the component we're working on, and we have an editable form here. I can click edit, and I'm in edit mode. I can click cancel. It'll go back into read-only mode. I can click update, and well, update isn't doing anything yet because we haven't taught update what to do. 99% sentiment in the chat room. Look at that. Thank you, friends. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream here today. And we had a request for storyteller mode. I've gone through and talked about .NET here. Can we do this? We've too much positivity. We need storyteller mode. Can we have some fun here? Carrie, I'm going to go to storyteller mode. Right? That's not storyteller.
Welcome in, friends. Let me tell you a little story about Blazor. Hello, Medmain. Welcome in. We're gonna learn about Blazor today. Oh yes. Right? I can guess Mr. Demon Wolf with a very good point here. Let me put this up. Right? It's very cool that you can legit code on any device. Yes, absolutely. Whaley Boy, this is Storyteller Voice. You can exchange channel points just like Curious Drive did and ask me to change my voice, change my editor. Not right now, we're kind of locked into the editor as part of the theme this month. But other cool things you can ask me to change my hat, all kinds of stuff. Check the little orange gear. It's over here, there, underneath chat. You can see it over there. All right, let's have some fun. So my update button here isn't working. So let's take a look at that. Wire that up, get that working, and we probably need a unit test to go with that shows that the update button works. Mr. Demon Wolf with the host, he's a member of the Live Coders team as well. Here we go. Yeah, follow along, Whaley Boy. Absolutely. We have a great time here. And we're equal opportunity offenders. And that's a thing. All right. So my update button. Why isn't that working? Thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate that. And everybody's always welcome. Happy to answer any questions all the time here. And have fun. Let's tell jokes. Right? We don't have to take any of this seriously. Because let's face it.
People know me.
They do. People know me. Alright. Where'd that code?
You can do it!
Yeah, I'm gonna go find it. That's what I'm gonna do. Edit. Here's my edit sample. So, come over here. Thank you. So in edit mode, so our FormView has this edit item template. There it is. So we have update. So when I click that, it triggers. There was no JavaScript. Confission. I'm working in .NET here. Who needs syntax highlight? That's right, Spicy Condiment. I can do this because
There can be only one.
and it's me. Alright. So update is in triggering and going back to the other mode. That feels like an incomplete feature. So let me go over here where I'm actually writing code and running my tests. Let's see. Git status. Okay. We're going to want. Do we need a unit test? We should have a unit test. You love the horses, that's okay, Confission. That editor color scheme is not good for those with poor vision. The red on black up there, I agree, but that's kind of the default that comes with this. If there's a better theme that I could use. Did I fall in a well? I have that voice. No. See? Didn't didn't fall in a well. That's what it sounds like when I fall in a well. All right. Oh, Mr. Demon Wolf. Let's see here. You like the epic theme music? I should just keep the theme music. Hello? Alright. Where was I? We need some unit tests for this to make sure that when we click an update button, it actually goes somewhere and raises the event that says the form's updating, so you can trap that and do the update, save your data, and actually handle an update. So I'm going to jump into our unit test project here. And I have all my FormView tests right here. Now there was no need for horses serving death. Can we have the J word autoplete? That's not a bad idea. But that's time. We're done. So sorry.
Back to regular Jeff. There we go. Ah, yes. It triggers you, the J word. You know what? Our friend Fonny Reinders, he wrote a Docker container that would analyze, that would listen to a microphone and would appropriately play sound effects after it heard different words. We could do that. What, Demon? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you in the chat room there. All right, let me pivot over here. That is what's hilarious. Oh, that's a thing. So we need like an update, right? So I'm gonna copy our edit unit test, right? And let's write update razor, and let's vim into that. And let's see, inside my edit item template, now I want to be able to click the update button, make sure that it raises an event that we're updating, and go back over to read-only mode. So let's do this. Not only do I have a label here, right? We're gonna add a button with a command name of update, with some text that says update. Okay. And what we should do. Yeah. Okay. Let me go down here. So here's another thing. We need to make sure that we get this retesting. I want to find the button. I don't need to make sure that we need to find the new button. That's going to be our update button, right? So let's call this, update button, right? This is the actions we're going to take. Get rid of that, right? Go to the end of the line. How do I get to the end of the line? Ah, there we go. So find the button. And update button, click that button. Now, when that button is clicked, I want to see that it triggers, well, I need to make sure it gets back into, oh, I didn't want to scroll up there. Right, that it gets back into this item template. So I want to go find the item template and see if it does. Shift A puts the cursor at the end of the line in insert mode. Ah, okay. You use Blender, says MedMain. You know, Blender is a tool that I tinkered with way back in the day, like 10 years ago. And I've never really gotten back into. And when I've seen folks like my friend, like my friend's son, he's Sausage Cam here on Twitch. And how well you can use Blender now. I'm really impressed. It is very legit now, Spicy Condiment. I agree. Just finished modeling. Oh no, I can't talk straight. Finished modeling a futuristic pistol. And it looks like an hour of your life, but it's all just good fun. It's for a project for a friend. Very cool. No problem. You're not spamming at all, MedMain. Please. always fun to talk here, and there's folks that are paying attention, reading, and they want to hear what you're working on too. That's great, you know. Nobody's going to take offense at anything that you're saying. We want to be inclusive, welcoming, so we just ask no swearing, no insulting of other people, no adult talk. So I want to make sure that I still find the item template, right? I need to be, after I click update, right? There's two things. I want to trap the object, and I want to make sure that I still find, right down here. So now I want to say cut find, right? And it was it the item template like this? No, lower T in the. All right. There we go. Like that. There was. Come on now, Mr. Demon Wolf with the big hands, right? Those are Primogen's hands. Prime's got some big hands. Got some big old hands there. That's right. No adult talk here. We're going to make sure that while we're not producing a kid-focused show, we're going to make sure that children are welcome here, right? Actually, I should be able to say, right? Should not be null? Isn't that it? Hey! And I can put a little bit here. I could say, didn't change back to read-only mode. Right? So, wrote that. Now, this doesn't know how to restart when it finds new files, so I need to kick it off on my own here. So we'll trigger that. This stream is too much fun. Well, I'm glad you're having fun, Death Knight. But please, can you do me a favor?
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
See that? I'm using XUnit here, and this is actually using a unit test framework that our friend Eagle Hansen wrote called BUnit. No squirrel. And BUnit is intended for unit testing Blazor applications. You're just a kid. Okay. So there we go. It was not able to find the item template. It didn't change back. Okay. The other thing that we want to make sure that this does is also raises that event that we're changing modes. There's a mode changing event there. Not a problem, Death Knight. Exclamation point help. Mr. Demon Wolf will give you the list of commands. Let me take a look here real quick. Oh, you know what? I should have just stayed there. Hang on. Let me just stay here for a second. Jump over here. I can go up a directory. Up another directory over here. Where is it? FormView. There we go. All right, so in FormView, there is... there we go. There is a mode changing event. Where is it? It's so hard for me to see. There it is. Mode changing. Right? Not the bubbled event. Did I go too far? No, it's right there. So I'm going to wire up and listen for the mode changing event and make sure that it fires and sends that the command that is firing is update. Let me see here. There were a couple of comments. Thank you for the live coders command. Headforge says, you know what's hard for computer scientists? Naming, caching, and naming. Yes. That's good. I'm fired. What did I do? Oh no. Why not wing with Python? That is clearly superior. Oh, you're so funny. Folks like Python. That's fine. I'm a .NET person. I mean, you're watching a guy named C# Fritz. Do you really think I'm going to write Python? Let's see here. So I'm expecting mode changing. That's the name of the event that I expect to be fired here. All right, so let me go back over here. I need to go back down into test, right? And my FormView tests for update. There we go. And what I'm going to do is add here, right, mode changing equals, I worry about that. And we'll create a method called form mode changing. All right. So we'll create a method void form mode changing. Now I should be getting some, what is it? Form mode changing args. Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. I think. Let's see if I can find the answer before it finds me. Nope. It's the wrong arguments. Come on with the horses. FormView mode event args. FormView mode event args.
Great Scott.
Yeah. That's FormView mode event args. Okay. Right? That should be the thing there. Let's see what that says. That should build and still fail, but build and run the test and fail because it's not changing back yet. Because we didn't implement it yet. Good. It failed where we expected it to. So, next, I want to have a... Right? I want to have... let's see. We'll call this raised update event. Right? False. So I want to detect if we did appropriately raise that event after the on-click happened. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to just check to see raised update event should be true. And I can actually put, right? Oh, rats. Right? Did not raise update event. Okay. So now down here, I should be able to say, if args dot, is it command name? If that is, to lower invariant equals update, right? And I can do an equals there with the culture check and all. This is just easier. I don't even need that if, do I? Right? I can just go back here. Right? I could say raised update event equals that test. Right? And now I'll know if it did appropriately raise that event. Let's see what the unit test says. See if it fails there. Ooh. What did it? FormView does not contain a definition for command name. Alright, so I don't have the right object over here. So let me check. It was FormView mode event args. New mode is what I'm looking for. Okay. So it's not... So the new mode that I want is actually an enum. Right? I expect to see that enum is... Where is it? Here. Is read-only. Alright. Alright. So, FormView mode, it's not even, it's, right. New mode equals, FormView mode dot, right, read only. So that should work now. Because I expect it when you click update to go back to read-only mode. Have I ever tried Golang? No, I haven't. Mr. Demon Wolf, I have not. There's no such thing as mistakes, just happy little exceptions. Yes. Yes. All right, so over here, FormView mode does not exist because I don't have the enums here. So this is going to be Blazor Web Forms Components Enums Musical Bookworm with the year.
Just resubscribed for 12 months.
Thank you for a year of support, and we're going to make a contribution to code.org. Thank you so much, Musical Bookworm, for all of that support. That's going to put you in a rainbow-colored hat subscriber badge with a little propeller on top. Very, very cool. Thank you so much for your support. Let's see what this unit test does now. Here we go. Okay. Should be true was false. It didn't raise the event. Right. So, now we've got our unit test nailed down. We know what we need to make our FormView do. Let's go find that FormView. Here. All right. So, let's go inspect. When we receive an update command, right here, we're not handling that command yet. So let's do it. Let's handle that command. So, case update. Mode changing, invoke async. We're going to notify that we're changing modes. New FormView mode event args. And I could just copy this, but it's more educational for me to be able to copy this. New mode equals FormView mode. Well, actually, it's going to go back to default mode, isn't it? I think that's what it's supposed to be. So, and because this is an async, we need to get the awaiter, get results. There it goes. And the current mode now is the default mode. Break. So we can actually do, right? We're actually doing the same thing as cancel. So how do we know that cancel or update was? Did I manage to get a waiter? Ah, I see what you did there, Garrett. Did I manage to get a waiter? Yeah, no. So we don't know. These are both doing the exact same thing. We don't know whether it was update or cancel that was clicked on our form view. That feels weird. Let's go look at the documentation for that, because I feel like that's not right. You know? Let me see. I don't know. I need to change branches, so I'm in my form view feature branch here. And now I can click through to form view. And there's the reference for this. So mode changing, yeah. Where did the commands go? There was a thing here, right? No, don't take me through there. No, that's not right. Yeah. There's all the boxes. Okay. Update button, text update, command name update. Let's see. Here we go. So cancel, right? We know what that does. Where's update? Used in updating operations to attempt to update the displayed record, raises the item updating and item updated events. Well, we need those events, don't we? What time is it where I am? It's almost noon. We're about 6 minutes to noon. So I need to add these two events so that we can trap and interact with these. FormView update event handler. That's a mouthful. FormView updating event handler. FormView update event args object. Yeah. Has a command argument, new values, old values. Oh. So we need to raise these also. And we need this FormView update event args. Is it the same arguments that we need for the other event, the item updating event? And there was item updated event. I'm in the form update. That didn't go back. Okay, so that was item updating, item updated, right? FormView updated event handler, FormView update. Oh, are you kidding? What's the difference between these two? Updated FormView updated event args. And it has the same things, and a keep in edit mode. Okay. Default mode should not be a method. Did I make that mistake? I did. So these two aren't right. Well, not entirely right. I need to raise these two events and be able to handle them. Right, there is no item canceled, just mode changing. Right, mode changing is when it changes modes. So item updating occurs when the button is clicked, but before the FormView control updates the record. Well, how does it update the record? I feel like there's something that's going to happen in between these two to update the record. Where's the examples? Let's go look at the update example, because it feels like there's something we're missing here. So we can make sure that this does the same thing. Let me see. So, okay, here's all the form. There's so much stuff in there. That's fine, but on item updating is on item updating on mode changing. Hey, congratulations, Gareth. Yeah, get await or get result is intended only for the compiler, but you need to go around it sometimes. And that's why I'm using it in a... Right? Using it here, I can't await in the middle of this, in the middle of, right, another... There comes a point where you have to stop it. Right? And doing a task wait just blocks, and it doesn't handle it alone it doesn't handle it appropriately. Yeah. I'm forcing it to run synchronously, that's right. So we need to add these other events. for item updating and item updated, but it's not clear to me where they're going to be, what happens in between them. Yeah. All right, so we need item updating with and this type of event handler is FormView update event args. Okay. So we're going to need one of these. Oh boy. What do we have in constructors? So cancel, command argument, keys, new values, old values. Gets or sets of value indicating whether the event should be canceled. I keep trying to hit the back button here and it doesn't. And that's just a bool. Okay, good. It's not some weird. No, don't use dot result. Don't use dot result. When you use dot result, it blocks, and it will never wait. It will never return. All right, so we need to add these properties. And those are the standard .NET methods. So let's create an object for this. Yeah. I'm going to jump over here, exit this, walk up and start creating some of these files. So we need, it's FormView update event args. Oh boy. FormView update event args. Okay. Jump back over here. And it's not in, yeah, it's not going to be in the box over here, so I actually need to jump out. I don't necessarily, well, if I write that right now, it's going to pass the test, but the test now is wrong. Because it needs to be it needs to raise the form item updating and form item updated events. You know? Okay. Let me do this while we're waiting to see if that runs. Yeah, see, it passed, but now the docs now I need to fix this because the docs have pointed out that we need to change this. Let's update the test so that the test fails, so that we know where we're coming back into next time. So I'm going to open this back up. Go back up here to the update. We need to make sure that it runs. Well, first off, it's not even going to build because we don't have on item updating. Let's add that. Right. On item updating equals form updating. Right. And we should have an on item updated. Right. Form updated. Because one happens before the update, the other one happens after the update. So we need to add let's change this to raised mode change event. Like that. Raised mode change event. Okay. Now we need raised item updating event. Raised item updated event. So we can check to make sure that those happen. This now, so we need to get raised mode change event. Now, the test should fail. It should not only fail, but it should come back with a compile error. Okay, it didn't even have a compile error. What? Oh, it doesn't know what to do with the other things, so it's just ignoring them. Okay. All right. So I called those two methods form updating and form updated. Okay. So let's also add here, make sure that these fail. I'm not going to add any more code just yet. Raised item updating event should be true. Did not raise the item updating event. Right. You know what? That's not right. No. Yank. Put. There we go. Item updated. There we go. Now that should fail the test because it's not raising these events. They should still be false. And I didn't even write code to reset those appropriately. Here it goes. Come on. Fail. Good. All right. So I need to actually create those events. Create the event arcs to go with those events. And start building this out so that it starts passing this test. And then... integrate it back into my unit test, my integration, my after Blazor samples, so the update happens appropriately.
And then
We can write the insert item to do the exact same thing with insert item events and templates, so that behaves appropriately. Not hard to do, just a lot of the same code that we're going to end up repeating again and again. But I think I think this is something I'm going to wire up. You're going to have to see. I'm going to have to spend some time just wiring that up. But we're over time. And what I'm going to do is just commit this source code so that I can pick up here next time. So let's clean up. Right? Put our toys away, clean up, commit everything to source control. Here we go. Let me add everything that we changed. Let me commit, and started working on the FormView item updating and item updated events. And that's where I'll pick up next time. There we go. Push that out. The test will fail in source control, but that's okay because we're not done yet. And now I'll have some idea as to where to pick up next time. Thank you so much, chat room, for hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun writing code with you today, of course. And I'll be back tomorrow. And I think we're going to start doing AI April. I won't be working on these, but you'll be able to follow along with the work that I'm doing on this over on GitHub. You can execute the project command, get some information about where things are out there on GitHub. April Fool's AI. No April Fools. Maybe, I don't know. Let me see. Let's see who's... Oh my gosh, too many things are happening. Pause, pause. Let's see if we can find somebody out there to raid. Maybe another live coder. Send all of you over to see these folks. Let's go to... You know what? I'm going to go to... She's the latest member of the live coders. That's right, Gareth. What a call. I think that's a tremendous call. Friends, we're going to go visit Jessica Mack. She just joined the live coders team. I'm so happy that she accepted and joined the team. If you're a subscriber, copy this top line. If you're not a subscriber, that's okay. Copy the next line over here. Copy it onto your clipboard. We're going to announce ourselves. We go over and visit our new live coder teammate, Jessica Mack. She's her channel's marked for mature audiences. You've been warned. And it looks like, what's she working on over there? She's doing some game development with C++, working on some shaders. She's got some cool music playing in the background. Always a great time. Really cool visuals that Jessica's working on over there. Get ready to say hi to Jessica. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This video, like all my other videos, it's here on Twitch. You can see it under the videos tab. We're going to get it moved over to the YouTube archive soon. We're working on it. We're getting there, all right? Take care, friends, and I'll see you tomorrow. Say hi to Jessica for me.